recently the Patriots decided to work out running backs Leonard Fournette and Darrell Henderson Jr. as potential backups to Ramondre Stevenson. It's pretty interesting because Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott are both still out there, but in particular Dalvin Cook. And what's also interesting is that a couple sports books have the Patriots as the #1 overall favorite to go out and get Dalvin Cook. The lone favorite. They're no longer tied with Miami. So I want to know, what is your reaction to the Patriots focusing more on Leonard Fournette and Darrell Henderson than better backs like Dalvin Cook?
I don't think they'll get Dalvin Cook, actually. I understand that Dalvin Cook's got an issue with his girlfriend who filed a suit against him for being abusive to her, and he's now rumored to have offered her $1 million to sign an affidavit that he didn't do anything to her. So he's got problems there, and the Patriots don't like that kind of situation. You remember what happened with Antonio Brown, right? They dropped him like a hot potato. So I don't think they're going. That's why I think they're looking at Fournette. And as I looked at Fournette, initially I thought, you know what, he's not that good a pickup for the Patriots. He's got a lot of mileage on him, and he didn't have such a great season last year. But when you look at his overall stats, he actually had a great season last year, right? He caught 73 passes. 73 passes, so the guy can catch, right? So in his running, he had 189 carries, and he got quite a few yards out of that too. And the Tampa Bay had a lousy offensive line, so I think maybe Fournette isn't such a bad pickup if they can get him for a decent price. The Patriots like to throw the ball to the running backs. Ramondre Stevenson caught quite a few balls last year, so I think he might be a decent pickup. I don't know about Henderson. He didn't really play much last year.
He got hurt, yeah. He played 7
only
games.
70. The year before, he did quite well. He had almost 1,000 yards, almost 900 yards. So maybe he's somebody that can come back and have a really good year this year. I don't know. But I think Fournette might not be such a bad pickup. The one thing I will say, not re-signing Damian Harris, right? Look where he wound up. He's with the Buffalo Bills. Do you think he's going to play his heart out when he plays against the Patriots?
I don't think it's going to matter.
I think that's just one.
The Bills can't get the run game right.
Yeah,
they're dealing with they don't have a great offensive line. They've been able to get the run game right.
Maybe they've found a way to improve it some by picking him up, and particularly when they play against the Patriots. That guy's going to be pumped up like he never was before to play against them. So
maybe
I'm not too happy about that.
Well, I'll say this. Damian Harris did not have a great year last year. He
got hurt.
Right, but he played more games than Darrell Henderson, and you know what? He didn't look great doing it. He really did not look great doing it. Coming out of he caught how many catches? He had 17 catches for 97 yards, no touchdowns. Leonard Fournette, he just came off one of the worst years he's had ever in his career. And also he was a part of the 32nd ranked run team last season. Not great for Leonard Fournette. Darrell Henderson, he was okay with the Rams, but the Rams never had a really good run game. Even with Sony Michel, even with Cam Akers, even with Darrell Henderson, he never was a great back. He actually is more comparable to, I think, James Robinson, who was there for all about 5 minutes. So Dalvin Cook, right? You bring up Dalvin Cook and his situation, maybe. The Patriots, while maybe they haven't, spent a lot of time with these troubled players, they've still actually signed them. Randy Moss had trouble. Antonio Brown had trouble. Aaron
Antonio Brown was there for one game.
I understand, but that's,
there are some others, though. I agree with you. Aqib Talib. Yeah, he had trouble, and they signed him, and he's played with them for quite a while.
Yeah, so it really depends on who's the leader there. With Tom Brady was the leader there. For the Bucs, he brought AB. AB lived with him for a year. As soon as AB was on his own, we saw what happened. He walked out of the Jets game, and that was the end of his NFL career. Randy Moss, he slowly fade out. Patriots got rid of him. His career fell off a cliff, and he actually almost did win a Super Bowl with the 49ers.
Yeah, he was like an afterthought.
He wasn't a huge part of that team. So if you're telling me a consistent 1,000-yard running back like Dalvin Cook is out there, and even Ezekiel Elliott, I believe he had 10 touchdowns last year, he's out there. Or instead, you're choosing from one of the guys who's never had 700 yards rushing in his entire career, or another guy who is on a steep decline we saw last season with a poor offensive line, although it had a couple Pro Bowlers and an All-Pro, compared to the Patriots offensive line, who has a tackle who drop blocks and misses every time, and an aging offensive line who right now is swapping tackles, figuring out how it works, bringing people up from the depth chart, bringing in new people, sorting them out in a complete mess. Is it really that much better? Dalvin Cook is a consistent 1,000-yard back. And if you're telling me he's the backup to Ramondre Stevenson, and you have that 1-2 punch, and it looks like Belichick is going to his old style of NFL, the 80s and 90s version of Belichick, where it's a lot of run game, a lot of defense, not much passing, because he doesn't love Mac Jones. He doesn't like Mac Jones. He doesn't go out and get top receivers for one Mac Jones. If you're telling me that Leonard Fournette is going to be the backup or Darrell Henderson is going to be the backup when you have Dalvin Cook and Zeke out there, yeah, I got a problem with that, because there's better than what you're getting. And hell, no one's signing these players, so it doesn't. I mean,
you think Zeke is better than Fournette?
I think Zeke can get you more production than Leonard Fournette can. Leonard Fournette could not separate beyond the line. He would get stuffed behind the line, couldn't bounce to the outside and get.
How about his passing?
Yards.
The passing game, though, 73 catches.
Ramondre Stevenson had a bunch of catches last year.
Okay, so Ramondre Stevenson on plays 1 and 2, and then Fournette in there on the third down.
But here's the thing, though. Fournette's not this big back. He's not a beefy back. Zeke could be put in that big bull back spot. Okay, here's one thing. So receiving. So Dalvin Cook last year had 39
catches.
He did have 2 touchdowns, though, which was more than Fournette. Or no, sorry, no. One less than Fournette and more than Darrell Henderson.
Well, Darrell Henderson only had 70 carries last year.
And Dalvin Cook gets you consistent 1,000 yards with several rushing touchdowns per season. So he's a 1,000-yard rusher, just like Ramondre Stevenson is now, and he can catch decently, score some touchdowns. So he gives you that multifaceted back. The one that makes the most sense, right, is to have 2 different backs, one for first and second, one for third and short. To have that elusive receiving back and that bull back. The best fit would be Zeke, because Zeke is no longer that speed back he was early in his career. He's now a short yardage back. Signing him, no one's going to sign him. The Cowboys aren't interested. It looks like no team is really interested in signing him to a big long-term deal. He already got his money. So will he settle for a 1-2-year deal worth, what, $8 million, $10 million? I think he should, because guess what? I don't know who's going to sign him.
I'd be surprised if he even gets that much.
We'll have to wait and see. But, I mean, his yards per game over the course of the past 3-4 seasons has plummeted drastically. So I'm going to bring it up right now.
Then why do you think he's better than Fournette?
His yards per attempt went from 5.1 his rookie year to 4.1 to a lift in 4.7, and last year it was 3.8. It stayed low 4s, and then it went 3.8 last season in 14 games. Didn't have 1,000 yards. He had 12 rushing touchdowns last season. He doesn't catch really, but early in his career, the middle of his career so far, he caught a decent amount. About what Ramondre, a little bit less than what Ramondre caught.
Ramondre caught a lot of passes last year.
Didn't he caught 70-something?
Did he catch that many? I thought it was something like 50-something.
I'll look it up. Ramondre Stevenson last season, he caught 69 balls. Yeah. He only had 1 touchdown, though. He had 421 yards receiving. But he was a 1,000-yard back and had 5 rushing touchdowns. Yeah. So there's better out there. The question is, though, are you going to pay the same for a worse back? If Zeke's is the thing, if you could sign Leonard Fournette to a 1 or 2 year deal, $5 million a year, or if you could sign Ezekiel Elliott to a 1 or 2 year deal, $5 million per year, which one would you rather go for?
I'd go for Fournette.
12 rushing touchdowns last season. Short yardage back. Differentiate a little bit. You would really go Leonard Fournette. What about Darrell Henderson? Would you sign him over?
I don't know much about him. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe because he's younger and he has less mileage on him.
That could be a case. That's the thing with the Patriots. The Patriots don't go out and get the best of the best generally. They go out and get, okay, and hopefully it becomes great. That's sort of what happens. So it's unfortunate because you do have 2 better backs out there, and the Patriots are probably going to go with the worst option of Leonard Fournette and or Darrell Henderson. So I don't know. I don't love it. I do not love what the Patriots are doing. To be honest, they could be going in the opposite direction. There were wide receivers out there that were better than what they got, than what they retained. There's better running backs out there, then they probably will go out and get worse. Mm-hmm. So we'll have.
I think their thinking is they may not have the very best players, but they have the very best coaching. So they feel like
Belichick
they can
doesn't
take.
know much about offense. Though.
They
That's
think
the
they
thing.
can. Well, they have a great offensive coordinator now in Bill O'Brien.
That's what we're hoping.
Right?
Bill O'Brien.
So
can
they're
retain
thinking
that
the coaching,
prowess on offense.
the coaching can outsmart the competition, and even though the players are not the very elite group, the coaching will make up the difference, and they'll still win.
Well, that's what
they're
I guarantee you
thinking
that's what Patriots fans are hoping, that Bill Belichick and Bill O'Brien could pull one out of the the deep depths of the abyss of losing and figure out a way to make the playoffs again, or we could be hearing some things about Belichick next season that I guarantee you some Patriots fans do not want to hear. All right, so I'm going to talk about this. This episode of the Harvey Hour is brought to you by our YouTube membership community. If you ever wanted to be a regular guest on the show or wanted special shout-outs at the beginning of each show, you can click that blue join button below and become a member of the Harvey Hour. We thank you to everyone who has signed up, and thank you for supporting the show. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.